The relationship between politics, popular culture, and wristwatches is undeniably fascinating. That is, after all, why we have a job. The pursuit of these timepieces at the center of this intersection by watch collectors, dealers, and auction houses is equally fascinating. There are a few documented significant wrist and pocket watches out there that the world is still looking for. That is, they have not been publicly sold or located, as opposed to, say, Eric Clapton's Platinum 2499, Gandhi's Zenith pocket watch, or Steve McQueen's 5512 Submariner. We won't get into his seemingly endless supply of Monacos, though we know they exist due to a blurry old 35mm photograph or word of mouth. Keep watching as we tell you everything you need to know. Hello, and welcome to another amazing video from our Luxe Life channel. In this video, we'll go over the legendary watches that are no longer accessible. But first, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. This is a short list of 12 watches that we know exist and are very interested in, but have gone missing. So, let's get this started. Pablo Picasso's Jaeger-LeCoultre Triple Calendar plus Rolex GMT Master. There is very little known about the Jaeger-LeCoultre Triple Calendar that can be seen on Picasso's wrist in the famous portrait photographer Yusuf Karsh's image. However, the photograph itself has a devoted following and regularly sells for thousands of dollars. Picasso was also seen wearing a Rolex GMT Master, which we have no idea where it is from. Caroline Moret's Breguet No. 2639, the first wristwatch ever. The world's first wristwatch is missing. Seriously, Breguet number 2639 hasn't been seen since 1855, when a direct descendant of the Queen of Naples sent it for service. We came across the original entry in the Breguet archives while visiting the Breguet Museum in Paris, and it's worth a read and a visit if you're ever in the area. We can only assume that the Hayek family is after this watch. Marlon Brando as Colonel Kurtz's Rolex GMT Master. Marlon Brando's performance as Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now is legendary, but did you know he wore a Rolex GMT Master with no bezel on a tropic strap? He was. There's not much information on how this obviously real-world worn GMT ended up on Brando's wrist or where it went after filming, but this is one for the ages. More on Brando's Rolex experience can be found here. The other Graves astronomic complication. Nobody knew what happened to Henry Graves Jr.'s super complication after it was sold for more than $11 million in 1999, until it was revealed to be the property of the Qatari royal family. But there is another watch that no one knows much about. It has never been publicly sold, and it could be worth millions of dollars. A photograph of Graves' Patek collection shows the super comp atop the pile, but right below it appears to be another astronomical complication pocket watch. Back in 2012, at Sotheby's Graves sale, the box for this would-be watch was sold, and sold for $30,000, in exchange for a box. Yes, something tells us that someone on the other side of that bid might know where the other mega Graves watch is sleeping. If it ever comes to light, we're in for a treat. Paul Newman's Paul Newman Rolex Daytona 6239. Okay, we kinda know where this one is. As far as we know, Paul Newman's 5 Daytonas are still in the possession of his immediate family members, including the absolutely game-changing 6239 he is wearing in the photo above. It is arguably the watch that catapulted the modern vintage Rolex collecting world into the stratosphere where it now resides, and no one knows how much Paul Newman's personal Paul Newman is worth. We do believe we will find out one day. Buzz Aldrin's Omega Speedmaster. This could be the most important wristwatch lost in the 20th century. On the moon, Neil Armstrong wore his Omega Speedmaster, but not on it. The mission timer on his module failed, so he left it on board. On the other hand, Buzz Aldrin, wore his Speedy on the lunar surface, and his watch became legendary. But did you know that when Aldrin returned, his watch was lost or stolen on the way to the Smithsonian? It was. Armstrong's Omega survived, but it was not the first watch on the moon. There have been a few people who claim to be in possession of Aldrin's Omega, but none appear to be credible. The person who took the Aldrin Omega probably had no idea of its significance. But at this point, it's fair to say this is one of the modern era's great horological mysteries. Where is Buzz Aldrin's Omega Speedmaster? Jean-Claude Killy's Jean-Claude Killy Dado Compacts. Jean-Claude Killy was, or is a great guy. We mean, just look at him. The ski racing champ went on to a prolific career in sports management and business, and eventually found himself on the board of Rolex itself. Though there is little evidence of him wearing a Dado Compacts Rolex, it is known that he did own one. In fact, we had the opportunity to meet Mr. Killy a few years ago and asked him where the original Dado Compacts was. He told me that his best friend at the time adored the watch, and he had given it to him as a wedding present. It is unknown if that friend still has Jean-Claude Killy's Jean-Claude Killy. John Lennon's Patek Philippe 2499. This is one that not many people are aware of, and it's unclear whether he actually owned the watch or if he was just wearing it in one photograph. But there very well could be a John Lennon Patek Philippe 2499, which is insane. As we've previously stated, the 2499 is one of the most iconic, desirable, and valuable timepieces on the planet, and one belonging to a Beatle. You can see how a collector would be interested in that. The rumor is that Yoko gave John the Patek for his 40th birthday, which is completely unsubstantiated. Fidel Castro's Rolex GMT Master. Castro has been a Rolex collector his entire life. In a number of photographs, he can be seen wearing one of at least 3 Rollies, including this one in which he is wearing a 1675. He's also been seen wearing an older crown guard, a Bakelite bezel 6542, and a Datejust. What happened to his watches? We can only assume that it is still with him or his family. Though we once met a man in Italy who claimed to be the owner of Castro's 6542. Miles Davis Breitling Nvidimer. Was Miles Davis a Nvidimer fan? Yes, as evidenced by this photograph. Nobody knows where this Jasmine's watch is, but we wouldn't be surprised if it appeared one day. What makes it interesting is that the watch can be seen in some of the most famous photos of Davis ever taken, by Magnum photographer Dennis Stock. More information can be found here. President Johnson's Rolex Day Date. While previous presidents wore Rolexes, it was LG's yellow gold day date that inspired the term president for this flagship model. Of course, the term president refers to the hidden clasp style of bracelet commonly found on the day date, but when an accompanying advertisement referred to this watch on this bracelet as the president's watch, that was the end of it. As Eric mentioned in his fantastic review of all presidential watches, the Johnson day date is currently out of commission. More information on the LBA Rolex can be found here. We hope you enjoyed this look at some of the most intriguing watches that the world is still looking for right now. That's all we've got for now. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on the matter? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our Luxe Life YouTube channel for more exciting content. We'll see you in the next video.